Hello there folks, SeKo Beercraft. You're having an innocent gun and casting one of my recent ladder replays. Don't do a lot of laddering anymore these days, but putting in a little bit of time here, having a bit of fun with it. We've got Sean up here in the top right. And we're actually got a little bit of banter at the beginning, so I might as well slow down so you guys can see that against myself, Omniscient. So it is a TVT. Actually, we can speed it up slightly. Yes, my name is also Sean, so it's a Sean off. The infamous Sean off. Yep. We Seans do have to stick together. Seans represent. Going out for an early scout because I like going for early scouts. And I will likely be going for, I believe, the 12 gas, 12 racks. Not in game, bro. Sean apparently has got to be all uppity and strong. Gonna play serious game serious. Try fun first and all that worm crap. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly. Quick little base scout. Sometimes one racks inside of your base will just, make you feel really sad and salty. We'll come in, see the timing, double gas going down before the racks is even done, and I'll get out of there, no problem. This game was very interesting stylistically, and so I wanted to kind of go through it again. This is, once again, we're not pros or anything like that, so there's tons of holes in how we play, but, regardless. We'll push back that one SCV, but he does really want to get that scout in. Does see the factory going down, and I think he saw that there wasn't a second gas, so he probably saw all he really needed to with that. My opponent on the other side is throwing down his factory as well. I'm throwing down an engineering bay because I saw the double gas really fast, and so I just assumed immediately, this guy's gotta be going Banshees. I've watched so much pro stuff, but that's kind of how my mind thinks. Sometimes you just gotta understand that your opponents might not be super hot. Our builds are pretty similar actually out to this point. Units wise, equal workers. He's getting himself out of Widow Mine. Or as myself. Actually, we're both getting down turrets. He's getting down a lot of turrets. This map, turret positioning is actually really interesting because there's this big wall behind your base. So if you throw down turrets, you can really pin things against the back wall and, shut it down. Still producing Marines. I would really love to get my Raven out, but I'm supply block huge. This was like my first ladder game in so long. One SCV is going to head out, take the watchtower, and he wants to go see when the command center is going down for my opponent. Raven on the way. Once again, I'm convinced in my mind that this is a Banshee opening, and I don't want to waste a scan out of my opponent. We do actually have a reactor going down and the tech lab on the factory. Widow Mine's going out, but they'll just, looks like they just pass each other. And this guy's on attack move, I'm pretty sure. So that's a little weird for me. Oh no, I did see the Widow Mine go out while I was moving down there. I'm actually going to move some Marines to the front. Because I don't want this Widow Mine to go down and actually block my command center. And note to you guys that 2 Marines do not kill. Whoa, wow, I'm surprised I didn't actually kill both of those. That was really close. We do have my command center going down pretty early here for my opponent. Not as his is, just behind mine. So once again, extremely equal builds. Widow Mine right down here at the front, but my bunker will be finished in just a second. Raven already finished. Vikings on the way, defending what I was sure going to be a Banshee opening, and now moving into 3 racks behind this. I do want that air control though. For me in the early game, yeah, you might want to get the medevacs out for your bio, go for some pressure. For me, I love having out the anti-air game early on. It helps you deal with drops, it helps you deal with anything funky. Missile turrets, seeker missiles can really do good work for you there. I do have my one Marine still in position, so I know I'm not further behind than anything else. Like, he doesn't have his command center yet, mine's just moving into position, so I'm at worst about equal positions as my opponent right now. This is so funny. And oh man, he got smoked. So anyways, he gets killed off pretty easy. His command center is moving over, mine's turning into an orbital. Already have a missile turret finished. And getting pretty good air control. Tank in the main. What I really want this for is to deal with drops. I'm so used to really early game Terran pressure. Maybe a little oversaturated in my main here, but perfectly fine. Now rallying into my natural. Move that tank into a better position. This will help cover my mineral lines. And I'm going to throw down a couple of turrets just for zoning. This is really super defensive, but just kind of getting back into playing some ladder. Thought it was pretty nice to do that. It looks like neither of us really have any intention of going for attacks anytime soon. +1, almost exact same time. Stim, his is actually quite a bit further ahead than mine. He does have a little bit more supply than I do. Overall, units wise, still same economy. Pretty much everything is identical to this point. This one Widow Mine put a little bit of fear into me. I was happy that I got this Raven out as well, because we see a nice scan here. My opponent actually used a lot of scans in this game. I made a point to use less scans. I move out with my army just to be able to see where this Widow Mine was, because I know he was going to leave it near the front of my base. I'm actually a really big fan of throwing down Widow Mines everywhere, and just using them as a way to kind of block things out. We can see I move my tank over here. Actually, that's just perfectly in range. I didn't realize how close that was. Just to pick off that Widow Mine so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Production-wise, I think we're pretty well equal. The difference is they are going to start coming out here pretty soon in the next little bit. I'm going to move up to a few more racks, go up to 5 racks here. And I'm going to go bio. I have a handful of tanks at the beginning, but they're more here as a defensive measure, and then I want to use the bio as an attack. He's actually moving around, scouting for any hidden bases. More missile turrets going down. Gas. Still trying to keep up with some SCVs. You can see I'm starting to pull a little bit ahead in the SCV count. I need a bit more. But I'm already starting to think about my next stages of the game. Army going to go down. Barracks. More scans being used. I don't really have too much of an idea what's going on. Seeing him use these scans, the problem is that this scan I needed to use, then I see where his army is. The problem when your opponent scans you is you wonder, are they doing that because they're about to attack? Or are they doing that because they really don't know what's going on? For me, seeing that, those scans going down and not really knowing what's going on, made me feel a little worried. Like, is he coming at me right away? I feel pretty good defensively. Good tank spread, bunker. Do have a lot of energy in my Raven. I'm actually going to speed it up a little bit here because I didn't realize how much we just didn't say hi to each other for a while. My production's going pretty good right now. 5 racks, spitting out lots of units, medevacs on the way, more scans going down from my opponent. And he does use some of his, what I wanted to say. There we go, sensor towers. I do like the sensor towers. Sneak in the back, little drop here with a couple of auto turrets just to be an ass. They're actually working pretty good. That's pretty funny. So that's actually nice. I actually picked off a missile turret and a supply depot. This was really strange for me, seeing this sensor tower in the middle. When I saw that on the mini-map, like, does this guy control the middle of the map already? So what I'm going to do is actually move out with 1 Marine, just to make sure there wasn't a giant army on the watchtower. And I just see a random sensor tower chilling in the middle of the map, so I'm just going to come and shut that down. His army is moving out right now. Just as I'm taking my third, this is a very important point. It is a planetary and it is done. My opponent is sneaking a base over here. He's just starting to get it saturated. See all these scans going down? I scan his army though, and I see this. He's going to stim up. He wants to intercept this. I actually saw that with my scan, so I'm going to stim and make a run for it. My army is not bad, but my tanks are all not in position right now. So this is pretty important. His army's pretty beat up already from that stim. Couple of seeker missiles are going out right now and do huge hits. They go to pile of the tanks, a lot of his air army. I will clean that up. Huge victory for me on that. Those seeker missiles once again. That Raven, that ace in the hole. So good. 1-1 for my Bion. I believe he's still just on. Once a Marine or something pops out, I guess I'll be able to tell. I think his upgrades are just 0. No, he's got 1-1 as well. So we got equal upgrades. But he's only no, he's actually. I thought my upgrades were further ahead at this point. He's actually going to be pretty toe to toe, pretty neck to neck with what's going on. The thing for me is I've got a third base down. I haven't seen any third base from him, and I've gone around and did a little bit of scouting. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually sending around Marines to start checking everywhere for more bases. Because I'm not sure. I didn't realize how far ahead I was after that attack. My opponent has nothing. Pretty big supply block happening right now, but I'll get past that. 4 supply depots on the way. Units-wise, 58 workers. I could stand to use a few more, but that's pretty decent. That's respectable. New command center is going down. Tanks now in position. My one guy does come up here and see this. And I was hoping my opponent didn't see my one marine. So I'm sending my army this way. I was hoping I wasn't going to attack with this marine because I was hoping to catch everything there. What he was doing is he's kind of juking and jiving a couple of times. I think he wants to pick up. Yeah, there he goes. Wants to pick up and leave with this. But my army is coming in here. So I'm going to try and actually find this command center. I thought it was going to be a planetary by now, actually. And I will pick that off. So another big victory, plus the 5 SCVs inside. He doesn't have another command center finished yet. Big scan, see where the army is right now. I've actually got my +3 attack on the way, as well as my +2. +1 for my vehicles. I'm just getting it just because. I'm not making any more tanks. Just sticking with bio. I love the mobility of bio. More missile turrets going down. A lot of the times if you start getting a lead on your opponent, the way they're going to try to crawl back into the game is with drops. So what I really want to make sure happens is I don't take a bunch of damage to drops, or if I do, it's going to cost them a lot. Man, I hate when that happens as a Terran player. What I really want to do is make sure that with the drops that I do have, once again, more Marines running around to scout in different spots. I want the drops that I do have that come after me to take as much damage as possible. You lose the medevacs, you lose the army, even if I take some damage. We'll shut down that one SCV, making that command center. Just putting on a little bit of time. I do see the army moving over there. This is kind of my window right now. I see his whole army move out. So I'm going to stim up, and I want to take advantage of this. I want to see if I can bust the front while his army's kind of out of position. Another stim going down. I'll actually grab a bunch of tanks for free here. 2 tanks in the back, still doing a ton of damage. Trying to split up a bit of my bio. That was a nice victory for him there, but in my mind, I was okay to make that trade. I wasn't super happy about it. It could have been better, but the fact that his army's been reduced, still doesn't have a 3rd base finished yet while I'm moving up to my, 4th and 5th bases, makes me feel pretty good, right? I've got a lot of production behind this. More barracks going down. My upgrades are doing good. Oh, what happened to all these SCVs? Must have all moved them somewhere else. I actually went for a drop at the same time to cancel that command center. I'll just get the hell out of there. Throwing down a command center on the low ground. I was not aware of this at the time. Moving around different units just to control different points. Vision for me in a TVT becomes a really important thing. So I'm going to start moving around units at different spots just to control the map. Units wise, 61 workers to 43. I'm actually spending my money really well at this stage. A lot of production going down. The things I should be moving into this point, and you see I've got gases, but I'm not using them because my gas bank is huge right now. I got 1,500 gas because I'm spending so much on Marines. So I'm not too worried about taking those gases. The thing that at this point it's really nice to get into, when you know you're this far ahead, is things like ghosts, or battle cruisers, or mass ravens, something else is part of the mix, and I probably should have went for ghosts and nukes. The reason is your opponent's obviously going to be Mega Turtle. I actually dropped one guy. I'm just going to start putting them in different positions around the map. Got Marines in all key positions here to see if there's a some sort of move out. But nuke play is just great to break these entrenched positions if you've got your opponent who's really obviously going to turtle up to stay in the game. Command center is going to turn into a planetary. He's actually unbelievably oversaturated on that one base. 43 workers. I'm actually still making workers at this point. I just went over 70. I know that with these new bases going down. Oh, I didn't notice he scanned me there. Must know that I've got all these extra bases. If we look at his vision. Yeah, he knows he's behind. Double drops right now. This was really cool for me. Being out on the map and in the right spots. I have the watchtower and my army over here. Is that this triple drop could actually do a ton of damage. He wants to go out there and hit this planetary. Like, that's his goal. Scan. I see this army. I see these 3 medevacs going out. And I get really lucky. That's such a shitty feeling. You gotta be very careful about that. He was going right by the watchtower, even if I didn't see that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually run by. We got, 2-2 versus 3-2, not a huge difference in the upgrades, a little bit there. I'm actually going to take out this command center, ton of the economy. And now what I've got to do is get on top of the production. See the tanks going down? What I want to do is get to the top of the ramp where there's a concave and let him funnel up slowly to the top of the ramp. Tanks trying to be in position over here, and I'm on top of the production. He's just going to GG out. Pretty fun little game. I thought it was nice to just kind of get back into the ladder sense of mind, have a bit of fun with it. I thought that was just, as a TVT, showing the power of the bio and the mobility, having the vision on the map, having units and stuff everywhere. Fun game, enjoyed it a lot. Thanks very much to Sean, obviously, for being a good sport about it. SeKo Starcraft, thanks everybody for watching. We'll talk to you later.